Ambassador, is China angry about Nancy Pelosi's visit, or is it just using it as an excuse to justify use of force?
Look, Gaurav, you know, the geopolitical situation today across the globe is characterized by increasing competition between the United States, which is the existing big power in the world, and the rising power, which is China. And this competition really comes to the fore when the issue of Taiwan is exercised. And the visit by the US Speaker of the House of Representatives of the United States, Nancy Pelosi, to Taiwan is a kind of red flag to Beijing. And that's why Beijing is responding in this manner. But also, I think if you look at it from a larger perspective, before China or Beijing can take on the United States, it has to ensure that its own backyard, which is East Asia and Asia as a whole. And this is something that we are seeing playing out even now in front of us.
Oh, absolutely. Are we, in your opinion, looking at a war for occupation of Taiwan or reunification, as China puts it, and is there a time frame? Because some have argued, the Chinese president has also said he will not wait indefinitely. So after his re-election in October, November, are we looking at China speeding up that reunification project of its, sir?
Yeah. No, that's an excellent question, but it's also the $64 billion question. You know that Beijing has always said and continues to say that Taiwan is a province of China and that it will be ruled and governed from Beijing. So this reunification of Taiwan with the mainland, with the People's Republic of China, is something which has always been on the books of the Communist Party of China. But when that can happen is something that only the Chinese leadership will have to decide, because it looks at this point of time that if at all Taiwan has to be reunified with the mainland, it will probably have to be with force. I don't see that happening, you know, through a peaceful reunification. So
and
it looks increasingly as if force will have to be used.
Yes, sir. And the steps that we see now, you know, surrounding Taiwan from 6 or 7 sides, issuing a maritime notification, missile tests that are being carried out. Do you see this as some kind of a dress rehearsal or war game for the actual operation? Some have argued it could be, you know, the time frame could be reduced from 2030 or 2040 to perhaps next 18 to 24 months?
Gaurav, you're absolutely right. What they're doing right now could be looked upon as a kind of dress rehearsal for something to come in the future. Not in the near future, but maybe in the longer term future, when that sort of operation to take over the island of Taiwan is actually launched, will all depend upon the senior leadership of the Communist Party of China. But Gaurav, I would also like to point out to you and your viewers that the reunification of Taiwan with the mainland is something which is very much on the agenda of current General Secretary Xi Jinping. And the reason I say that is because you know that all the big leaders in the pantheon of the Communist Party of China, Mao Zedong, he actually formed the People's Republic, and he formed the People's Republic of China.
Yes.
Deng Xiaoping then worked for the reunification of Hong Kong with the mainland. And now the last thing that is left is for the reunification of Taiwan. And if Xi Jinping has to be counted amongst the top leaders of the Communist Party of China and be equated to Mao and Deng, he will have to ensure that the reunification of Taiwan takes place with the mainland. So there is a push factor for Xi Jinping to do that. And later this year, if he gets an extension of a 5-year term, it is quite possible that such a reunification will take place within the next 5 years.
Within the next 5 years, you say, and his re-election in the People's Congress, is that an if or a when in October and November, in your view, sir?
In my view, I think it's a foregone conclusion. He will get that extension in this October or November, as you rightly say, at the party Congress, and that he will be China's top leader for the next 5 years, starting from October, November this year.